now be known as
Jiminy Cat.
Okay guys, I'm here with my new cat Willie. He's a beast, as you can see. Alright, but we're bringing you my training, equipment, and inventory guide. And what I mean by training, equipment, and inventory, I mean it's going to be the equipment that is going to be best for training. So it's not going to be the super high strength bonuses. Well, it's going to be high, but it's not going to be like the max, because I'm going to use items that are also going to give attack bonus, so you don't miss as much. So let's get this started with the equipment. Okay, this is the first setup. It's going to be the best setup, and it's going to be for players who can afford this. This setup is going to run you 76.4 mil. So after that, you're going to want to look at the DFS. The DFS I'm only going to recommend to players that have a high attack level, and that's because another option would be using the Dragon Defender. And the Dragon Defender is going to give you more attack bonus, which is going to make you miss less, so that's good too. But so if you don't have those requirements but you have the money to use the rest of these items, I would recommend you use the Dragon Defender. And then another option would be for people who want to train strength, would be using the SS. And the SS is the best item that is going to give you the highest points per hour for strength training. And that's because it's fast and it still has a really good strength bonus. And then the last option is going to be the Karasi and Dragon Defender. You can see by the points that it's a pretty good setup, but it's not the best, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you want to just save a little bit money, because the Karasi isn't worth that much. And also, a lot of people like to substitute these weapons for a God Sword. Bandos God Sword, Armadillo, whatever the fuck that is, God Sword, any of them. Do not do that. Just don't do it.
Okay? Don't ever
use a God Sword for training. And that's because a God Sword is slow, and when you're fighting for a long period of time, you're going to want an item that's fast but still hits pretty decently, and that item is going to be the SS. So that's why I'm telling you to use the SS. But after I'm finished with this, I'm going to pop up a list of all these items that I've showed you, and then I'm going to move on to the next setup. Okay, this is what I would call the average Joe setup. This setup is going to cost 43.1 mil a round. And what's different about this setup is that we have the fighter torso, and this is the same thing as a Bandos chestplate, besides you lose a little of the defense bonus. And if you lose too much, you know, you can just substitute the Dragon Defender with maybe an Avi shield or Obi shield, however you say it. So you'll still get a little bit of strength bonus from the Avi shield. And then this you can substitute with any 99 cape. And then we also have the Region bracelet, I think it's called. And this is just a cheap alternative to having the Barrels gloves. And this is good as a myth Barrels gloves. So if you can get adamant and up, you're going to want to use whatever one you can use. But if you haven't done Recipe for Disaster, you're going to want to use this. Okay, for players who have even less money, we're going to do this. We're going to substitute the Bandos test set for the Torg plate legs and the Fury for glory. Alright, now for our welfare pack. And the welfare pack is going to run about 586k, so it's relatively cheap. And what we switched out was we got D legs now, we got combat bracelet, and we got D skimmy. Okay guys, now for the inventory I think you should use while training. While you're training, I highly recommend that you should pot. It's just gonna raise the amount of XP per hour a lot. And for potting, I think you have 3 options that I would recommend to you. And the first one is gonna be a regular superset. And then we have the set that I came up with. I don't know if anybody used it before me, but it's gonna be a dragon battle axe, a super defense, and a super attack potion. And then you have the dragon battle axe, and then the restore potion. Okay, let's start out with my least favorite combination, and that's going to be the restore potion and the DB. And I don't like this because it doesn't give you the extra bonus that you're going to get from the super attack and the super defense pot. But because it's so cheap, you know, you might want to use it. But another thing you have to note is that in the GE, this is going to go for 228. I mean, that's not a big change and it really doesn't matter. But, you know, just to let you know, you're not going to get it for 65 GP. The regular superset, I would put at number 2 because, first off, this super strength pot, the 1.4k is going to start adding up. Because you might not realize it now, but over time when you're training, when you're trying to get to 99 strength, 99 attack, 99 defense, these pots are going to add up and it's going to end up being a very huge amount of money that you're spending on these strength pots. So I don't like it because of that. And also it takes up room, because if you're going to have, I don't know, you might bring 3 supersets, and you know that's just a lot of room in your inventory. You don't have all that room to spare because you're going to want to bring food or other items like a cannon or something. I don't know, doesn't matter. This combination is going to be my favorite one. I've been using this ever since I had like level 80 strength, and it's done me a really good job. And you know, like I said, this is going to save you room because you only need 1 of these. So if you bring 3 sets, you're going to save 2 spots. And it's also very affordable because this is only going to cost you about 1.1k. And the cool thing about using the dragon battle axe is when you're done training all your whatever you want to do, you can just sell it right back. So it's like you never bought it. So just think of having all these super strength pots, and then you use them all up and then you just sell them back, and I think that's really cool. So that's why I would recommend this set. Alright, well, this concludes my guide. You know, if you have any questions about any of my methods or an item that I might not have mentioned, why I haven't mentioned it, or I don't know, if you can only afford certain items or something and you want me to look at your stats and the items that you are thinking about using, I will look at it and tell you what I think. But yeah, just leave a comment, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.